Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and in a world of complete and utter darkness, in a hellscape of dismal, bland grays, only one hero can rise up to save the world with the power of color. Mark Rainbow Water. Oh man, these spoilers get mean, everybody. Irish Desolator here. Now, I found out recently that all the greatest YouTubers are all very, very Irish. Now, I'm a quarter Irish on my mum's side, or at least that's what we suspect because her mum's mum or whatever was, her last name was something. I don't remember. I mean, between Quixer and Grade A Under A, I figured the secret to succeeding on YouTube is to be Irish. Or at least sound Irish, but like I said, I'm a quarter Irish. So, let's get into the spoilers. By the way, seriously, the new Grade A Under A is seriously QXIR, Quixer. The guy is freaking hilarious, and he just picked up like 50,000 subs in like a month. That's more than my entire channel, matey. I don't think Irish people actually say that. Well, unless they're sailing, of course. So go check out his channel. Seriously, time's running out. This accent could drop at any time. And then you'll be left with what? 0 Irish YouTubers. So go subscribe to him. Legitimately, his channel is better than mine. Anyway, first off, we've got Animatu's Augury. Oh, that's an 8 cost. That's gonna wreck your face, I bet. Sorcery speed, and it's got the Planeswalker girl on it. So, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield. Oh, I'll be honest, we're not doing so great so far, but let's keep reading. Until end of turn, for each non-land card type, you may cast a card of that type from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. So I guess they added the land so that you could put it into play without costing it. Because once again, you play lands, you do not cost lands. Crap, that was super British. Hold on, I gotta go watch some more Quixer to get the accent back. Well, anyway, this is a free casting card, so naturally I don't like it. But it does cost 8 in its sorcery speed, so you know what? If you've got 8 mana, go for it. Next up, if you're offended by this accent, tough shite, I'm a quarter Irish. Piss off. We've got Boreas Charger. It's a 3 cost and it's a 2/1 flyer. Oh, I'm sounding a little bit more Minnesota than Irish, but we're just gonna keep it up. By the way, nobody from Minnesota talks like this, don't you know? Literally no one. Okay, Connie Gompers, but other than that, nobody. So when I don't know what the hell this says. When this thing leaves the battlefield, choose an opponent who controls more lands than you. Oh, we're back to that again, are we? Search your library for a number of plains cards equal to the difference between your lands and their lands and reveal them. Oh, this is similar to a card from my commander deck, actually. Put one of them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest of them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Honestly, a 2/1 flyer for 3 is pretty shite. But if you were behind on lands, this would catch you right up. The real question is, though, why are you so far behind on lands? Like, if you're losing that badly, it's not just the lands, you're probably behind by about 5 permanents at that point. That's why I don't like this. I would just play a better deck. The fact that that's a rare really pisses me off. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, it's a miracle! Not that they printed this card, I mean it has the mechanic miracle. So it costs 3 black and double X. So what you do is you return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, that's already completely crazy, to be perfectly honest, because you can resurrect something for 5. Hello, Eldrazi Titan, although apparently not Emrakul. Somebody informed me that she has been banned. Hallelujah. So this is already on par with other spells that bring things directly out of the graveyard and onto the battlefield. But add another 2 mana to bring it up to 7 and you've got 2 targets. But the miracle cost, it brings it down to a mere 2 black mana and X, single X. What? What? 5 mana will get you 3 creatures. No restriction on its mana cost or power. That's crazy. I wonder if this is in the deck where the Planeswalker commander puts cards on the top of your library. I wonder. Holy shit. I mean, you could build your entire deck around just this card and then just ways to fetch it. But that would be a stupid, repetitive, boring, gimmicky crap deck. Don't be that guy. If you pull it, great. I hope you've got some good creatures in your graveyard. Just go with it. It's a good enough card already, okay? But honestly, for the miracle cost, you put 10 mana into it, It's just about Rise of the Dark Realms, but not quite as good. So it's not like it's without precedent. I think in context and in the deck that it's in, it's wonderful, absolutely amazing, and even if you were to just take this out and put it in your black deck with no intent to set up a combo with it, it's still really damn good. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of my favorite cards so far. The only problem, and this really is a big flaw with this card, it's purple, but I can't get it in foil. I don't know if I can get past that. I'm gonna have to knock it down to a 9 out of 10. Next up, Loyal Unicorn. We have those in Ireland, by the way. We ride them around. It's basically a Ford Focus. I mean, you ride on down to the gas station, or petrol, is it? I forget which word we use over in Ireland, where I totally live. And you'll see plenty of unicorns. Why are they at the petrol station? I don't know. They drink it. Sure. So this costs 4. It's a 3/4 with Vigilance. And Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, so just like the other Lieutenant abilities, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to creatures you control this turn. Other creatures you control gain Vigilance until end of turn. Holy crap, and this is an uncommon. This is not an uncommon, this is mythic. You basically can no longer take damage. Think about this. If your commander was a creature, it now cannot take combat damage. Add in Vigilance, just swing every turn. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Except for against my deck. You swing at me, oh, you're gonna lose some stuff, laddie. If you make the dire mistake of attacking me in a multiplayer game, everything bad in life from that point onward is going to happen to you and only you. You will immediately quit Magic when you see what I have in store for you. Oh, this card is crazy. This is going directly into my Don't Attack Me deck because it's kind of like Don't Attack Me, period, next sentence. But I'm going to attack you and I'm going to get away with it. In fact, I wish the Vigilance was optional because then I wouldn't have any blockers and it would encourage them to swing at me and lose the game. Oh my gosh, this is one of the absolute best creatures I've seen spoiled so far. This is absolutely crazy. The only problem clearly is this does basically nothing if you don't have your commander in play. But if your commander's not in play, build a better deck. Next up, Magus of the Balance. Now I know Candelabra, but I think there were Maguses, Magi? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, in every color. Oh, fine, feck it, I'll look it up myself so you don't have to. What the hell? There was like 20 of them! Better yet, this isn't a reprint. So apparently, yes, there were other Magi, I guess we'll say, but this is a brand new one. In fact, I'm not sure I've seen a reprint yet. Not that I've memorized every card that's ever been printed, of course. So this is a 2/2 for 2 human wizard. If you pay 5 and sacrifice him, each player chooses a number of lands they control equal to the number of lands controlled by the player who controls the fewest, then sacrifices the rest. Players discard cards and sacrifice creatures the same. Oh, I see what you did there. It's literally the card Balance. In fact, I think it's the same fecking guy on the artwork. I'm not even kidding. This literally does the same thing as the card Balance, but for 3 more mana, because Balance costs 2. But in the meantime, this is a 2/2 human wizard for 2. I think it's a little shaky. It lets people have way too much time to destroy him, exile him, or whatever. And also, I mean, this is somewhere between hurting you and not really benefiting you all that much. I never really did like Balance. It wasn't a terrifically expensive mythic in Eternal Masters. But if your commander deck is already focused on Balance, I would play this one as well. I mean, now you have 2 shots at it. So I don't really like it, but I've got to say, I mean, if they had to sacrifice down to 0 creatures because you do too, that's pretty funny. But, you know, Wrath of God does the exact same thing. So next up we've got Night Incarnate. Oh my, it's a 5-cost 3/4 elemental with Death Touch. Oh my, I didn't know death was an element. So when Night Incarnate leaves the battlefield, all creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. Oh my. I mean, in the meantime, you paid 5 mana to swing for 3 damage. It's not that great. I mean, would they really feel obligated to block this? And would it be worth it to use a removal spell on this? I would say yes if you had, like, I don't know, Murder or Go for the Throat, and you wanted 10 creatures gone, but you could only target 1. Well, target this one and sweep -3, assuming that everything you needed gone had 3 toughness or less. So, I mean, I don't know about the reliability, and the other problem is it's not only opponents' creatures. So, your opponents could time this really well and just punish you for it. I don't like it. I don't like unreliable abilities. Now, that said, it does have Evoke, and I think that makes it quite a bit better. Now, Languish is empirically a better card. It is a -4/-4 sweeper for exactly the same amount of mana. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what Evoke does, you may cast this spell for its Evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. So, basically, it's just a spell. Not to imply that creatures are not spells, I mean a traditional instant sorcery spell. So, I mean, okay, you can sweep for 3 if you really don't need a creature, or you really don't have a way of controlling when it leaves. I mean, other than, okay, an opponent doesn't swing at you because they know you'll block with this. I don't know. It just screams unreliable, and there are so many better cards you could put in for 5 mana. I don't like it. Next up, we've got Primordial Mist. It's a 5-cost enchantment, and at the beginning of your end step, you may manifest the top card of your library. It basically just turns the card into a 2/2 creature, and then you can unmorph it, although technically it's not morphed. But you could do it for its mana cost. Now, I thought it was an enchantment, but they're not saying that, so I think I'm remembering that incorrectly. Now, this end part is very unusual. Exile a face-down permanent you control face up. Now, that might sound a bit off, but I'm not going to get way into it, but exiling a card face down has some implications, so you need to exile it face up. Then, you may play that card this turn. So you're probably thinking, Irish Des, what the hell is the point of that? Well, because lands don't have a mana cost. It's really just, oops, I flipped a land and I actually needed it. So, for free, you could exile a face-down permanent you control face up, so the land, and then play it. Well, assuming you haven't already played a land this turn. That is still the restriction. So considering you could flip up a face-down creature for its mana cost at any time, there is literally no reason to do this other than making it leave the battlefield and come back for some kind of creature entered the battlefield effect, I guess. Well, you're not really flickering it, you're removing it and then hopefully casting it. Now, if you somehow fail to cast it, it remains in exile permanently, so be very careful with that. Well, the only other thing is if you need to cast a spell that turn. Like, every time you cast a spell, blah. Because turning it face up for its casting cost is not casting it. So those are the 2 circumstances, really, so just be aware of that. That's how you play this. I mean, I think it's a bit odd. I mean, it is, at the end of the day, extra card draw. Because you can look at that card at any time, you know what's under there, and you got a bonus card that you can either flip or you cast it, or leave it to 2/2 if you really wanted a 2/2. So it's actually a little bit better than card draw. Also, they cannot make you discard it, but they could just blow it up. But if it gets targeted by a red spell that does 3 damage, you could simply exile it and then cast it. Timing rules still apply, so it would have to be your turn if it's a creature. Or hell, if it's a counter spell, exile that and flip it and cast it on their turn. That would be fun. So really, the options are limitless with this, and I really, really like it. It's a little obscure, it's a little complicated, you really have to know the game rules, but I do like it. Next up, Skullstorm. Oh, that's creepy. Oh, and another purple card that I can't get in foil. Wizards, why do you do this to me? Be honest, be honest. Is it because I'm Irish? Oh, look at the Irish leprechaun bloke over there. Let's only give him some green foils, because Irish people love green. They don't like purple. Piss off. So what does this 9-cost sorcery do? Oh, that's a lot. When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. Oh, it's another one of these. Okay. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, remember, for each time that this resolved, I guess you would say. Oh, and they are separate spells. And this is at casting time it is replicated. So if they countered this one, the original, the rest still go on the stack because cast means attempt to cast, not necessarily successfully. So they sacrifice a creature. Each opponent who can't loses half their life rounded up. Guys, you know I love Killing Wave and Torment of Hailfire. This is some crazy shite, okay? Yes, it costs 9, there's no X here, and you really can't control how many times this goes off, so honestly, it probably is worse than Torment of Hailfire, to be perfectly honest. But wow, half their life total rounded up. Oh, if they blew up your commander a couple times, chances are they used removal spells instead of let summon a creature spells to do it, so they might be a wee bit short on creatures. Think about that. So your commander died 5 times. Oh, I sure hope they've got 5 creatures, because if they have 2 creatures, they're going to get 50%ed, and then 50%ed again, and then 50%ed again. If they were at 40, now they're at 5. Oh, that's right. All their creatures are gone. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's swing at them. This is horrific. It's game ending. I love it. So next up, we've got Sower of Discord. Speaking of that, you can get access to my private Discord channel for supporting me on Patreon for a mere $1 or more. And honestly, this month, YouTube has been kicking me right in the tricky bits. That's a thing that Irish people say, I'm pretty sure. My revenues are a couple £100 down, so, any kind of assistance would be wonderful. Help a poor Irish bloke out. We were discriminated against in New York City 120 years ago, I think. I mean, yeah, it wasn't based on any preconceived notion, the color of our skin, our religion. It was because we were lazy, violent alcoholics. At the end of the day, isn't that what Martin Luther King dreamed about? I mean, he probably literally dreamed about it. He was alive after it happened. He probably heard about it. You've seen the photos. I mean, Irish need not apply. Fecking lazy alcoholics. Oh shit, I think my great-great-grandmother got here, 1890s? God, how did she get a job? Oh wait, women didn't work back then. So anyway, Sower of Discord. So this is a 6/6 flyer for 6. Off to a great start there. As Sower of Discord enters the battlefield, choose 2 players. Oh, I bet you could choose yourself there, do some tricky shite. Okay, whenever damage is dealt to one of the chosen players, the other chosen player also loses that much life. Oh, that's mean. I feel like there's a couple other famous cards that do this, but I don't remember the name. Maybe Shared Fate or something. Maybe like Karmic Mirror, I don't remember. In a really well-constructed deck that's very Desolator style, in the top 10 reasons not to attack me, all 10 of them are this. If I have 28 life and you have 26, don't attack me. I mean, that's just basic maths. Now, keep in mind it says damage, not I paid 3 life or loses 3 life. That is not damage. So like I said, you can get cheeky and target yourself and then quit hitting yourself. But if you're playing in 3-player or really more, take the 2 people that pissed you off the most in the game and just, link them right up. And then, strap a Night Howler backpack to this guy, fly on over, deal 20 damage to the first guy, and then the bloke next to him takes the same amount of damage. Oh, that's cold. Oh, they should have called this Frosty the Discord Demon. I like it. I like everything about this. It's like the Irish always say, Soro cumde me, coimed me. Oh, you didn't know we had a language, did ya? Piss off, it's called Celtic. Sounds lovely. So next we've got Varina Likud. What? Oh, the whole card's in German. Okay, let me translate it. Hold on. It says Varina Lich Queen. That's right. Lich Konigin or something like that. That's the word for Lich Queen, apparently. They have a word for that. Why? How often does that come up? Whatever, I'm going to start saying Lich Hagen Das or whatever that says. I'm going to use that in my daily life. Oh yeah, Susan from the third cubicle down, she's a real Lich Konigin. Yeah, I'm saying she's a powerful undead sorceress. So it's a legendary creature. Okay, I'll stop. It's a zombie wizard. Well, that makes sense. It's a lich. I mean, really, that's one way to put it. I'm glad that they added those subtypes. So whenever you attack with 1 or more zombies, draw that many cards, then discard that many cards, you gain that much life. Well, you better also be playing Lich's Mirror because, you'll die. You'll run out of cards and die. Now, I don't know what the rulings would be on if you fail to discard, but like you would have. Like you fail to draw, don't lose the game because of it, and then fail to discard. I think that doesn't count as a discard. Is that like casting where you just have to put in the old try and it doesn't actually have to work? So once you run out of cards, this would do nothing. Oh, and also, you'd be out of cards. Bit of a wee problem there. But get this, pay 2, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So once you've drawn down your entire library and somehow not lost the game, hopefully, you can continue to almost do something with all the cards you put in your graveyard. Honestly, Elixir of Immortality, just recycle the graveyard. Like, come on, you gotta stay in this one. You gotta stay in the fight. So, I mean, besides the obvious danger to yourself, this is crazy powerful. And of course, it's a mythic. I mean, the life gain is crazy, the card draw is crazy. It's a very efficient way to get to the card that you need, especially a very large zombie or a card that brings out a whole bunch of zombies. Remember, it's not the damage, it's the number of zombies. So overall, I really like this. I mean, it's like when my friend tried to mill me out with Forced Fruition. I had 3 graveyard recyclers in the deck. He literally let me draw my entire deck and then just handpick what I wanted to keep. I discarded and then during his upkeep, recycled my graveyard. That's crazy, and this would be very similar if you could get the zombie count up, which I think you could. So moving on, we've got Yenet Cryptic Sovereign. Costs 5, triple colored, is mythic, it's legendary, of course, and it's a Sphinx, so it's probably going to do almost no damage in the air and have some crazy side effect. Oh look, it does 3 damage, has 5 toughness, and it's flying. Who would have thought? So Vigilance Menace, that's pretty good. I mean, Menace plus only 3 damage isn't that great considering it costs 5. But okay, when it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If that card's converted mana cost is odd, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, draw a card. So you get the card in either case. But if it happens to be odd, you can cast it for free. Otherwise, I guess you're on your own. Just cast it. Its automatic card draw, it has Vigilance and Menace. It's in the air. You could pretty much safely swing with it in most cases. I think it'd be a wee bit weak to run as a commander, but it's not bad. Honestly, it's not really that much better than Sphinx of Magosi, although it's automatic, you don't have to pay for it, but it doesn't get bigger. I don't know, actually, I mean, with the free casting, if you hit the right card, or if, maybe you arranged what card was on top of your library, perhaps you could get a lot of value out of this. So actually, I'd put it above Magosi. I don't want to talk too much shite about him, though. I'm sure that's her brother. Yes, I just assumed her gender. Also, the flavor text says she. And finally, from probably Kamigawa, because look at the building and the human ninja, we've got Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow. Oh my, she has Commander Ninjutsu. Oh, that's a right bit specific, isn't it? Ninjutsu is a very interesting ability. So you pay 2 and return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Then put this card onto the battlefield from your hand or the command zone, tapped and attacking. Oh, they're really banking on people making this their commander, but it's not that great. I mean, you can cast your commander virtually an infinite number of times for just 2 mana, though. I mean, attack with literally anything, and oh, she's back. That could get really annoying. So, whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Okay, I take back a little bit of what I said there. This is probably good enough to be a commander now that I read that bottom ability. You know what would be even better? Is if you could arrange what card was on the top of your library. The only problem is it's only ninjas. You'd have to virtually build an all-ninja deck. And considering we know that we're going back to Kamigawa, I would just wait. So, I mean, maybe she'll be cheaper because of that. I guess, like, pick her up if she's under 5 and you really love ninjas and the colors blue and black. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, she'd probably be okay in the deck that she's in. I assume she's not the only ninja. So that is the last card. Don't forget to go check out my pal Quixer. I say pal, but we've never talked and he doesn't know me. He has no idea I'm saying this. And I feel like if he heard this video, he would probably want to kill me. There's just something about an American trying to talk like an Irishman. It might just rub them the wrong way, and not just the violent alcoholic ones amongst them. So in other words, all of them. Oh, who am I talking about them? Us. The violent ones among us. I'm a quarter Irish. Remember, according to Wizards of the Coast, it doesn't matter where you were born. If you are black and you were born in America, you're not an American, you're black. Same goes for Asian. The only thing that matters is your great-great-great-grandparents and where they were from. Well, that and obviously the color of your skin. And you can't escape it. You are now labeled that way forever. Congratulations. If you're Latino and your grandparents came here 100 years ago, you are literally the same person as a person who just walked across the border from Mexico, according to the social justice warriors. Oh, and also, they would appreciate it if you would go attend F&M to artificially inflate the diversity numbers. Thanks, social justice wizards. Oh my god, I'm going to call them that from now until eternity. I just thought of that. That's a gem. Wizards of the Coast Social Justice Warriors will hereby be known as Social Justice Wizards. And with that, I'll bid you adieu. What do us Irish people say? Having a hell of a day remembering my own people's vernacular. I don't know. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. Peace out, bitches.